Let me give my introduction. I do work in a software firm, and my experience is around about 70 years in the industry. I started my career in 95, and precisely uh, I moved to testing 2 years after I joined the industry. Now, being in this testing domain or the QA domain for the last couple of 16, 17 years, and I've handled projects in manual testing as well as in automation, and automation precisely with your QTP, test complete, and now for the last 8 years I've been handling projects on Selenium. In terms of your training, precisely I've trained people in-house. I've also done online training because it's kind of a passion for me. So I've around about 8,000 hours of training experience, online training experience. I've trained people across I would say US and across your Europe also. So I have experience precisely in about 9 projects, and most of the projects are in your banking domain, insurance domain, or in travel and leisure domain. So that's my introduction precisely. So I would like to know about your background first of all, because I would like to know why would you like to come into this particular testing background. What is your zeal, and what have you done in terms of your experience? So share your experience with me so that I can understand and give you correct advices on how to go forward and join the industry. Can I start with Ankita, please? Hi, Ankita.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I worked in Infosys as a test engineer, and my experience is around 3 years. I worked for manual testing as well as automation QTP. And due to some personal reason, I came to US, and right now I'm on dependent visa but apply for H1. So in order to be in progress in terms with testing, so I should not forget anything. I'm attending this session.
It's completely based on the fact that practice will make you rewind everything. So even if you have not been working for a long time, for a short period of time, whatever it is, you just start practicing it. It'll come back to you. Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's why. So keep it in a pace so that I can join again software industry. So that's why I was just attending this session, so I can be everything what I have learned. I revised it.
Yeah, I had a trainee who was in Infosys only, and she right now in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Her name is Vidya. She had the same problem. She was on dependent visa and all. She came back and took a working visa. She got a working visa, and she went back and she got into training. She had left the particular domain for 3 years, and she came back to India, took a working visa, took a training from me, and joined SunGuard out there. Right now she's in SunGuard. So it's good. So it's not a problem. So it's even if there's a gap, a small gap or not, it's fine, because everybody, generally females do have some personal reasons, and I understand that very, very clearly. But you need not worry about that, because it will come back to you as soon as precisely when you go through this particular training, or you'll come back to you. Everything gets rewinded.
Okay.
So I will basically the training program is such that I will speak about that on a later point of time. What is the training program all about, and what are the phases in the training programs? If you already know manual testing, what you can do to enhance your skill sets based on the marketing needs that are available, because market needs have changed right now. So whatever you know and whatever I can help you out in getting a job, so we'll speak about that at a later period of time when we speak about the course part.
Yeah, sure.
So, Ankita, how many years have you worked in Infosys?
3 years.
3 years, great.
Yeah.
Vidya had been working. Vidya, my ex-trainee, she had worked for around about 12 years in Infosys. After that, she left for 3 years and then again joined SunGuard 6 months back.
Okay.
So the case of yours is same like as Vidya. I can see that. Great, good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Ankita. So going back to now, Nidhi. Hi, Nidhi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. So just give
Um,
your background and what have you done so that you can move forward and analyze your background and help out in getting a job for you.
yeah, sure. So I'm not from IT field. I have done my MBA in finance.
Okay,
So I just want to, enter into IT field. So
okay.
I'm not sure that whether this is the right field for me or not. So that's why I'm attending this program to know whether I'll be able to cope up with it or not.
So you are a good speaker because you are in the MBA finance and MBA guys speak well. Testing is a domain. Testing is a domain which will make you to speak. Actually, you need to speak in testing domain because it's a domain in which you need to interact with your clients. You need to interact with your managers. You need to interact with your colleagues because your job, everyday basis is to find bugs in the application. So you're going to basically you're going to pinpoint problems in your codes that has been written by the developers. So precisely you need to take confidence, you need to make confident the developers that they have actually done a bad coding. So you have to take the confidence level, you have to increase their confidence level. Yes, this is the bad coding that you have done, and this is why I've got a bug. So in order to do that, you have to speak correctly, you have to communicate correctly, and that is why MBA guys speak well, and it's a good way to enter the industry because I can tell you one particular thing. This is the easiest way to enter actually,
Okay.
because testing is a domain which is the easiest way to enter the industry. If you want to enter the industry, it's the same with my wife also. She was a master's in economics. She did not have any clue about testing. I forced her around about 12 years back to join testing. Okay, now she's in Deloitte and she has an experience around about 11 years right now.
Oh,
She
great.
is an economics background, so you are in the same kind of background right now, so it wouldn't be a problem rather. And you could speak well because you have from the MBA background rather. It's good. So nice to hear that, Nidhi. So we'll get back to the next person. Kareem, are you out there?
Yes.
Yeah, Kareem. Could you know your background, please?
Uh, I don't have actually IT background. I have biology and biochemistry background.
Okay.
But why I'm here, actually, some of my friend actually talking about the QA, so and they gave me this link. So just
Okay.
know about the QA.
Okay. So let me tell you about your category of you are basically from a non-IT field, completely from
Right.
the biology background. So I'll give you a case study on that. I do have I just 3 months back I had trained a person who was in your biology only, and she was in biomedical section. She had done what do you call she was a graduate in biomedical, and she also changed her basically line to IT field. I trained her in your Selenium and manual testing, and right now she is in Deloitte. She's in Deloitte, US. Okay. And people like you who are from the biological background or from the medical field, lot of doctors nowadays, lot of biology guys, like from the zoology section or from the botany section rather, are working in companies which are into biosciences. For example, a lot of companies are into healthcare right now. So they
Great.
need doctors, they need guys from a biological background because they need to understand, they have a better understanding of the domain of healthcare because they have from a particular background. So it's good that basically you want to change your line. This is a good way to enter an IT industry by entering it through your QA domain or testing domain. You have any questions, Kareem? It's good that I came to know about your background.
No, this it sounds good. You explained nicely, but yeah, after listening you, then I might have some question.
Yeah, please. So I'll start the introduction part on what we are supposed to do. Let me speak to Subbalakshmi also, and then we'll start at what we are going to do in terms of testing and what we're going to do in terms of training, and what are the market demands right now, and why testing is needed, and what are the teams involved in testing. So we'll speak about that. You can see it in the screen rather. What is the agenda for today? I'm not going to take much of time of you. I'm not going to bore you much, okay, because it's the first class. I understand you have a lot of inhibitions. Oh, what is this training all about? How is this guy going to speak? all these aspects comes to your mind. So I'll go very, 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 very in a very short term. I'm going to explain what is my agenda and then go forward. So before that, I'm going to speak to Subhalakshmi. Hi, Subhalakshmi. This is Kaushik out here.
Hi. I do not have any experience in testing. Um, Previously, I have joined in TCS, and I had
Okay.
some initial training program, and I quit the job. Now I want to get a job in QA, so I want to take this training.
Fine, fine.
Side by side, I'm learning Selenium. Just I started, so I want to know the uh, from the initial SDLC, from manual testing and all. I just want to know.
So Selenium, how much you have done, Subhalakshmi?
Selenium WebDriver. I know how to identify the elements, web elements, and how I know just actually what is it? That titles and all. I can check that. I can automate that. So
So
just
specifically,
started and all.
let's start it. Okay. So there are a lot of things in Selenium. I'm going to speak for that, but if you're learning it yourself, ensure that you also learn Ant, Maven, Jenkins. You should learn a source code management tool like Git or a SCM tool like your Tortoise SVN. So these are all needed in as part of Selenium domain. So I'm going to speak about that. It's good. It's not a big deal that you joined, you left the job because of your personal reasons. You can still join the industry, and this is the best and the easiest domain to enter the industry. So going forward, the agenda for today is now who can become a software tester and quality analyst. Okay, that's the agenda first agenda, and second is what are the phases of our training. So if you're going to basically join the training course, what are you going to do out here? Okay. That's the second thing. Third thing is that what is the current market demand? Because if you go against the market demand, definitely you're not going to get the job. So you need to understand what is the correct market trend. And based on that, you need to basically do your training. So that's I'm going to speak to you about that current market demand. And then what's all about this particular first called software testing. Okay, what is it all about? And then we need to understand what are the different kind of people who gets involved in doing software testing, and that's why the agenda will be which teams are involved in developing a solid quality software rather. And then we're going to speak about the importance of testing, why testing is a separate kind of a department in every IT company, and how did testing evolve as a whole, and why it is important right now. Okay, and then we have features of quality software. What are the features that a software should have in order to get it accepted by the market or get it accepted by the client? And then we'll speak about what are the different types of testing, and just a small synopsis of the testing domain and small synopsis on your SDLC. So we're going to go forward. Are we all right with the introduction part, agenda part?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. So who can become a software tester? So precisely persons with basic logic. So you don't need to be a kind of a masters in something, masters in IT or master. You do not need to have a technical background kind of stuff. You do not need to be an engineer. You do not to be a rocket science to become a quality analyst or a software tester. Basic knowledge that we have that we can apply on an everyday basis can be actually used in your testing domain. Precisely what I mean to say. Now, if I have a particular application, let's say Google. Now, Google, what do? I generally log in and I check my mails and log out as a simple user of the Google. Now, go one step ahead than being a simple user. For example, let's say Google login, it takes a particular kind of what do you call inputs. The input can be your username, can be your let's say xyz@gmail.com, and your password will be let's say something @pass1234. Now, going one step ahead than a basic user of the particular application is nothing but checking that the application is working with invalid data or not. Okay. For example, I give an invalid username. Is it still taking me to the inbox page? That is where you get your emails. Or precisely, I give an invalid password, do I still go to the inbox page? Is it possible to go? So it's a one step above the basic user of the application, and the one step above is nothing but trying to fiddle around with the applications. Okay. Now, fiddling around with the application means you need to understand how the application works. Now, will it work with negative data? That means negative data means what? If I give an incorrect username or I give an incorrect password, is it still going to my inbox page or not? That is my job as a tester. I will get my paycheck when only I am able to find bugs in the application. And bugs are nothing but discrepancies in the application with the documents which are used to make the application. Now we need to understand one particular thing in any aspects. For example, I would like to first, let's say I would like to drive a car. First I should know what are the rules of driving a car. Okay, how would you rules means what is the usage of accelerator, what is the usage of a clutch, what is the usage of your brakes, what is the usage of gear. If I do not learn that and simply sit down in my car, I'm going to bang it. Okay, so I need to know the rules of making the car or driving the car. If I know the rules, I can then drive the car. That is how it is basically used. So I see a new person out here. Hi Proti, this is Kaushik out here. Are you able to hear me?
Hey, hi, this is, yes, I can hear you. Kaushik, hi, this is Preeti.
Okay, it's Preeti. Sorry, I saw Proti, so I thought it's
No,
Preeti.
I think so, it's misspelled. It's Priti, Preeti.
Okay, sorry. So, hi Preeti,
No.
what's your background, please?
I am basically from a non-IT field. I have completed my bachelor's in medicine from India, and then I
Okay.
worked here in New Jersey in healthcare department.
Okay. So, Preeti, we have a same person like you called Kareem. He is also from the medical background. He's also
Okay.
attending this particular session out here. So,
Okay.
I just gave my background to them also. I'm just going to repeat it in a very small, what do you call, terms. I have around 17 years experience in the IT field. I started a career a long time back. I am now basically handling around about 19 projects in my company. I've been training people for the last 9,000 hours, I would say. 9,000
Wow.
hours is how many days? I do not know that. So that's my background. So I was just telling the other guys about what is the agenda for today. So one of the agenda points is who can become a software tester. So I was telling all you guys that anybody who has a basic logic and can apply basic logic in your everyday life can become a tester. The only thing is that I was giving example of a Google application. As a simple user, I know that this is my username and this is my password and this is how I can go to the inbox page. Get one step above the basic user level. That means that if I give a incorrect username, will I still get my inbox page? If I give an incorrect password, will I still go to the inbox page? Okay.
No.
So this is a simple thought process of a tester. Okay. Hi Anup, this is one more person who has joined. Sorry guys, I'm just being what do you call? I see new person joining in on a every minute basis. So I just need to talk with them. Hi Anup, this is Kaushik out here. I don't know if he's able to hear me. Anup, are you able to hear me? Okay, when Anup speak, I'll speak with him. So going forward, this is basically the deal of a tester out here. You're gonna go one step above than the basic user of the application. So one step above means you need to basically find out if the application works with negative data or not. And if the application works with negative data means what? I give an incorrect username, I still go inside the application. Let's say I give an incorrect username, I still am able to see my inbox page. Or I give an incorrect password, I'm still able to go to my inbox page. So this is nothing but a discrepancy of the application with the document. So I was telling you, for driving a car, you should know the rules of driving a car. You should know how to use your clutch, on what condition you should know how to use your clutch or brake or your gear, all this thing. You should know how to start your car. You should know how to basically apply brakes. Under what condition you need to apply brakes. So this will be a document which has to be read by you before you drive your car. And then you go for a driving license where you're going to give test based on the rules that you have basically run. And if you see, if the inspector sees that you're basically not able to use the car properly, he or she is going to fail you, and you're going to again apply after a certain period of time. Similarly, when I make or Google makes an application, it needs a document to set out the rules for the application. So first of all, we need to set up the rules for making the application. And then based on the rules that are defined for the application, we're going to make the application. Every company does that. It's not only Google. I'm speaking generally about the general concept of making the application. So every application has to have a rules. And these rules, this rule book for making the applications is known as requirement documents. So as a tester, what we are going to do, we're going to check, is the application made adhering to the rule book or adhering to the requirement document? If not, it's a bug. I'm going to report the bug. That is what my everyday work is. Because if I'm not able to find bugs, I'm not a good tester. Now, so for being a tester, I have to be one step above the basic user of the application. How do I find bugs? I give negative data. I give data which should not be accepted by the application. Now, if it gets accepted by the application, that means it's a problem with the application. That means it's a bug with the application. That means there is a discrepancy of the application with the rule book, or rather with the requirement documents. So this is my basic work as a tester. So what you need to do to become a tester? Have basic knowledge, basic logics, which you implement in everyday life. Okay, implement it on the application to find bugs. That's all. Second point, person who uses computer understands to use the application. All of us use Google, Gmail app. We use Facebook, we use Twitter, we use Instagram. Every day we use it. Okay. Now, if you know how to use the application, it's better for us, or it's good for us that we can use the application or test the application in a better manner. Now, if I generally know what are the workflows of an application, how will I use a Gmail application? I can use a Gmail application for sending mail. I can use a Gmail application for saving an email in draft. I can erase my application and send it to the trash folder. I can forward an email. I can reply back to an email. I can log out. These are the different features of the email application. Now, if I know how to use these features, it will be better for me to test it also, because I know the features, I know the basic flow, I know all the features of the application. So as a tester, it becomes easier for me to test the application with negative data and positive data both. So generally, all of us nowadays use computers, and all of us basically use some kind of application, be it I am from a IT field or a non-IT field. Facebook, I don't have time to actually see it, okay, because I'm held up with my projects and all those things. But yes, people who have, let's say, time to see it and wants to reciprocate to other friends and wants to basically speak with other friends, wants to have networking, wants to have a network in the society or in the respective fields, they use Facebook or Twitters. Okay, now all of us use Facebook and Twitters, I would say. So all of us have used some kind of application at some point of time. So to become a tester, you should have basic logics. That's what I was speaking about. To become a tester, you should be using some kind of application. That means you already know how to use a computer. You already know to use certain kind of application. So to become a tester, you know already that particular stuff, how to use a computer. Now, understand the application means what? Let's say I give a project to you. So that project is an application by itself. Now, it does not mean I will throw the project to application to you. and then you start testing it. Obviously, there's a process involved. Whenever an application is given for testing, before that, the usage of the application is told to you, or you will be getting training on how to use the application. Then only you can test it. Otherwise, what is the deal in testing if you do not know the features of the application? So what I'm trying to say out here, basic logics involved, basic uses of computers are known, understanding of application is known. Third part, person who can find problems in the application. As I told you, as a tester, you need to be one step above the general user of the application. Now, how do become a tester? You know, in everyday life, we tend to be negative. We have negative feelings or negative thought process of about a particular person, or a particular, let's say, job, or what are the risks involved in a particular job, or what are the risks involved, let's say, if you speak with a particular person. And females generally have the sixth sense very much. Same thing you apply in your application. You need to understand where can the application fail. You need to understand how would I make the application to fail. Okay, that is the perception of a tester. That is nothing but you have negative thought process about the application. Do not apply it in your everyday life. Okay, negative thought process on the application is very much important for becoming a good tester, and everybody can have that. Okay, you need to. It's like you are basically pinpointing faults in the application, and you're pinpointing it by finding out the loopholes in the application. So you need to find out where are the loopholes in the application. Those loopholes will turn into bugs. Why? Because if there's a loophole, that means the application is not adhering to the rule book, that is a requirement document. So as a tester, you need to find problems, and you need to be pessimistic in testing the application. Pessimistic not in your life, pessimistic in application testing. Okay, so a tester's mind is always pessimistic about the application that he is or she is trying to test. Pessimism is required for testing because that is how you can find bugs in the application. And definitely, we are always very pessimistic about certain things in life. So you need to basically apply it in the applications testing arena. That's all. And the fourth thing that I was obviously telling, I think I was speaking to Nidhi. I think she has done her MBA. So you need to have clear-cut communications out here, because, and all of us have clear-cut communication. I'm not saying you should have a hi-fi language, hi-fi English, and you should just need to basically communicate in a very clear manner. And why it is required, that is also I will tell you. You're going to find bugs in the application, and that is not likable by developers, because developers think when they make codes, they are gods. Okay, but they are also human beings. They also create problems or have mistakes in the code, or have carelessness in the codes. And because of that, as a tester, I'm going to find those kind of bugs. So when I report these kind of bugs, I need to communicate with them very clearly where exactly is the bug. Where is exactly is the bug in the application. You need to, sometimes they will not take your bugs into consideration. That's where you need to basically be very clear in communicating the fact that why you have basically raised that bug, and what is the problem in the application, how it is going to affect the application when it is used in the real-time scenario by clients. So for these kind of situations, you need to have clear-cut communication, and plus you need to speak with your clients also. Why you need to speak with your client? You need to tell the client that this is the kind of testing you have done, this is the types of bugs that you have found out, this is the status of the bugs. So there will be a lot of communications that will be happening with your clients or with your colleagues or with your developers, and for that a very simple clear-cut communication is required, so that you can express the kind of solutions that you have given, or express the kind of bugs that you have raised, or express the kind of problems that you are facing on using the application. So these are the qualities required, or these are the basic threshold required to become a software tester or a quality analyst. You guys have any questions? You can ask me. No questions, so I can go forward with the next slide then.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fifth point that has come suddenly in this particular slide is any graduate. Persons of any graduate can become a tester. The only thing that is required is the first 4 points, which I've discussed. So, for example, my better half is a graduate in graduate economics. She's a master's in economics. So I basically train people who are doctors and working in Deloitte IT consulting. There are people who are from the medical backgrounds out here also. I have taught earlier also, who are from the bioengineering background. They have joined IT industry. And there are people from, even from, I would say, your pure graduates in English language. They have also been working in the IT field. Okay, you just have to have a zeal for getting a job in IT, and for that you need to have a proper training. And plus, the 4 points which I've discussed in this particular slide is important. So it is not important that you should be a technical graduate or you should be or either a scientist or other be let's say from the IT field to join the IT industry or join the quality analyst domain or the testing domain. Any graduate, you just need to understand the processes of your testing. You just need to understand how do basically what different stages that you have in testing, and you can join the industry, irrespective of the fact that whatever graduate you are. Okay, so let us go to the next slide, and that is our phases for your training. The first phase we're going to start with, if you're joining the particular what you call the training aspect, is, let me tell you, let me bifurcate first. People who already know manual testing can directly go for automation testing, or can directly go for Selenium training. So my automation testing would be dependent or would be on Selenium tools. Okay, why Selenium tools for automation testing? I will tell you later point of time. Okay, let me go and tell you that people who already have knowledge in manual testing, who are working in manual testing, or they have done training in manual testing, can directly join phase 2, and phase 2 is nothing but your automation testing or database testing. Now, generally, I would not recommend you guys to do database testing, because as I spoke to you and individually understood what is your background, let us go in a manner in which the preference of getting a job is more. So that is why phase 2, I would like you guys to go to automation testing rather than going for database testing. Database testing involves you to know database and then fire SQL queries. This is nothing but the language for your database to do testing. Okay, so people who already have done some kind of training, or people who have already joined or learned manual testing, can directly go to phase 2 and learn Selenium out there. Now, people who are coming for the first time, they have to have their basics very strong. They have to have their foundations very strong. And the foundations can be only strong when you actually have done training in manual testing. Because manual testing is required to make you understand the pillars under which the whole testing concept stands. Because manual testing is going to tell you what are the different phases of testing, what are the different processes that are involved in testing, how are you going to have how do you conduct testing manually, how do you write down test cases which are required for testing an application, how do you report, what is the reporting structure, what kind of reporting tools would you use in your manual testing, what kind of different documents are required for conducting your testing activities. And these all things are required for you to enter the industry. Now, if you do not have foundation level understanding of these things that I've told you, how would you basically enter the industry? So people who are new to this particular field, recommendation from my end, please do phase 1. If you do not want to do out here your training, that's fine. Okay, but wherever you want to do, ensure that your first level of phase or first level of training should be in manual testing. And this is not because I commercially want you to get trained out here. This is because I know people have lot of problems understanding, oh, how do I start my career in testing? And people think, oh, I can start a career in automation directly. No, please do not do that particular mistake. You do the training out here, you do not do training out here. You do it somewhere else. That's fine. But ensure that your foundations are strong. And foundations can only be strong if you do manual testing first. So if you're doing training anywhere here or anywhere else, ensure that you do this particular manual testing and do it well. Generally, I take it on a term that I will tell you first what is the process of testing. And this process of testing can be applied if you are a manual tester or you can be an automation tester, whatever you are. You can be a manual tester or an automation tester, the processes will remain same. And these processes are generally defined in your manual testing, that is your phase 1. Anywhere out here, not only here, any IT industry that you join, let's say you join as a fresher tomorrow, you're coming out of college and you're joining the industry for the first time as a QA guy or a QA person. The first thing that they're going to teach you is manual testing, because this is the foundation. This is where your pillars have to be made strong. So our foundation has to be strong also, and that is why I will start my phase 1 with manual testing, where I'll teach you the processes of testing which can be applied as a manual tester as well as in the automation testing, as an automation tester also. That remains common. Okay. Second thing, I'm going to teach you what are the different tools involved in testing. What are the different reporting tools? What are the different bug reporting tools? What are the different test management tools? What are the different SCM tools? I'm going to teach you as part of your phase 1. And that can be applied and implemented as an automation testing, in automation testing also. That remains common. Okay. Second thing I'm going to teach you, third thing I'm going to teach you rather, how do you write down test cases? Now, if you do not know how to write down test cases, you cannot become a tester. Now, what are these test cases? The next question that comes to your mind. Obviously, these test cases are nothing but the rules that are defined in the requirement. So what you are doing, you are looking at the rule books of the application. The rule books are nothing but the requirements defined to make the application. So looking at the requirement documents or the rule course, or you do a training in your manual testing rather. So test case writing, what are the different types of testing, what are the different levels of testing, these very foundation required to become a tester or required to join the testing domain or to join the QA domain, you need to have these kind of knowledges, and these knowledges can be only imparted in phase 1, that's a manual testing, which can be also applied in phase 2. Let me be very clear on that. So if you have these knowledges beforehand, it becomes easier for you to implement in phase 2. And our phase 2 will be in your automation testing or database testing. Now, I would recommend you to go for automation testing, because database testing, you need to learn database, you need to know how to manage your databases, you need to know how to design your databases. And the market needs for a database tester is less than an automation tester, obviously. So my recommendation, if you're going for phase 2 directly, go towards automation testing. But yes, phase 2 can be taken directly if you know phase 1. Okay, so automation testing, what we are going to do? We are going to learn Selenium. Now the question arises is, why we are going to learn Selenium? Why not QTP? Because QTP is another tool for automation. Why not Rational Robo? That is another tool for automation. Why not Test Complete? Because that is another tool for automation. Simple answer. Look at the job portals. Open up any job portal across the world, or let's say in US also. Most of the job portals, if you see, they have requirement for Selenium testers. That means the person should know the Selenium tool. or have worked in Selenium tool or have got trained in Selenium tool. Now, if you see all those job portals, you will also be able to understand one particular thing. What is the trend in the market? What kind of jobs are coming? Looking at the job market demands, the training has been made in such a manner that I will be training you in Selenium. Now, you will be asking me, what is this automation testing? Simple thing, automate your manual process. Manual testing means everything has to be with human intervention. Automating means automating the same process so that you have less human intervention. How would you automate it? You have to use a tool. You cannot automate it with your own means and fantasies. You need to have the tool for that. And what is the tool in demand? What is the market demand right now? The market demand is you should run Selenium, and because jobs are in Selenium is much more. Second difference, if you get trained in phase 2, if you basically go for phase 2 also, okay, your gravity or the weightage of your CV or curriculum vitae or whatever, resume, whatever you can call it as, okay, increases 3-folds to 4-folds, 4 times I would say. The paychecks that you get as a manual tester and the paycheck that you get as an automation tester is at least 3 times. So joining the industry, if your paycheck is X, okay, and you know automation testing, your paycheck becomes 3X. And that's a very, very important thing which will interest you also. Okay, and that is what I'm telling you. But as a whole, we are going to learn, so we're going to learn Selenium. I told you why we're going to learn Selenium, because that is what the market demands are. And you can see, basically check out in your job portals also. And in Selenium, what are we going to learn? We're going to learn, Selenium is basically a set of tools. So it has a tool, let's say Selenium Grid. It has a tool called Selenium IDE. It has a tool called Selenium WebDriver. If you go to the job portals, the usage of Selenium WebDriver and Grid is more. So our concentration of your automation testing training would be in Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. Now, there's a pre-requirement or a precursor before you learn Selenium WebDriver, and that's you should know one of the languages. You should either know C# or you know Java, or you should know Perl, you should know Ruby on Rails or Python. Now, non-IT guys are scared now because I have said you need to know one particular language to learn Selenium WebDriver or Selenium Grid, which is the automation tool which we will take as our training tool. Okay. Now, we are going to learn Java, not going to learn C#. Simple reasons, I will 2 reasons for that. Java is an open source language. C# is a commercial language. Okay. So why would anybody invest in a commercial language? Better to use open source, and the open source language is Java. And plus, if you see, the second reason for you to learn Java is that the requirement in your job portal says Selenium WebDriver with Java. So it means the number of requirements of automation testers is Selenium WebDriver with Java language. So as a precursor to our training for automation tool, that is Selenium, I will also be taking the Java. And now please understand, now I would definitely know a lot of people out here will get scared. Oh my God, Java, I'm going to learn it. I'm not from the IT field. How do I learn it? Simple answer I will get you. Did I learn everything from my mother's womb? I did not. I learned it on the real-time world. I had to struggle also. I had to struggle to learn Java. And I am a graduate, I'm a technical graduate. You can say that, oh, you're a technical graduate, you should know how to use the Java language. No, nobody taught me Java. In my days, when I did my engineering, I was told about basic beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code. That was the language I learned, and they taught me C. That's all. I had to struggle a lot after coming out of after doing my graduation to learn Java myself. So I know what is the struggle all about. I know where are the problems a common person faces. I know you would say, oh, you're a technical guy. You would know how to know it's easier for you to learn Java. I would say no. It was not easy for me to learn Java. Long time back, at least 19, 20 years back, I'm speaking about. I had to struggle. I had to learn myself. There were no guidance. At those point of time, I did not have any online training like this. So I know what are the struggles, what are the difficulties faced by IT guys or non-IT guys in order to learn a language. So when I teach you Java, I will have that in mind that yes, you guys are from non-IT fields or you are from an IT field also. So with that thought process into mind, I will teach you Java. So I'm going to teach you Java from a basic level in a way as though I'm teaching a layman. So do not get worried about Java. So Java is needed. Why? Because you need to learn Selenium, and Selenium you have to learn because that is a job demand. There is a market need. I will not teach you QTP. For example, one of the persons out here have already done Q. I think she is Ankita, I believe. Yeah, I think Ankita was working in Infosys and has done. She was in QTP and all. Now, why would I not teach you QTP? Simple reason that demand is less. It's a demand and a supply. I think MBA finance person will understand that demand and supply. So if you have more demands, the supply will be based on the demand. The demand is more for Selenium. That is why the supply for Selenium guys should be more. So that is why my training will be into Selenium. And for learning Selenium, I will also teach you Java, and I'll teach you Java as though I'm teaching a layman, as though I will teach my 8-year-old kid. Okay, so do not get worried up. So that is what is the second phase of your training. That is your automation testing. And in Selenium, we are going to learn a lot of things. We are going to learn how to use Selenium, how to code with Selenium, how to use the tool called Ant, how to use the tool called Maven, how to do reporting with Selenium, how to create test cases with Selenium. All those things we're going to learn. So it's one at a time. I'm not going to go very fast. I'm going to take my time. I know that you are basically first time learners out here, so I will take very sweet time to make you understand it. Once we do phase 2, then you are ready to go for your what do you call for your market. But market demands are also that you should know some kind of project. So you should have some kind of experience of how to implement phase 1 and phase 2 on a project. So if you want to do phase 3, it will involve that you implement your manual testing concepts and your automation concepts in your projects. Okay. So there can be a project. Now the question will arise that means that phase 1, whatever I'm learning, I will not implement in real time. There are a lot of exercises given to you. And those are all real-time exercises. So do not get worried if you still do not do phase 3. Okay, that's your real-time projects. But yes, projects will have its own environment creation, its own kind of rules to be applied, and you can apply your phase 1 and phase 2 on that phase 3. But yes, question gets arise, oh, that means I will not get a real-time approach when I do manual testing training. You will get a lot of exercises, and that will going to increase your confidence. And increase your confidence to give interviews also. Second thing, when you do phase 2, you will still have a lot of exercises to be done. Okay, and those will be real-time exercises. And those are going to help you out in your interviews, and those are going to help you out in increasing your confidence also. Okay, so precisely that is what we are going to do. And then phase 3, as I told you, is real-time projects, followed by phase 4, that's precisely how to prepare for your interviews. So I can take your mock interviews 3-4 times, and I can tell you that these are the types of answers you should give. These are the type of questions that are asked. I will also help you out in creating resumes for you when the phase 4 comes. So resume building has to be out there. Mark is also going to help out in your resume preparations. Plus, Mark is also going to send you for interviews with their third-party consultant with whom Mark has tie-ups. Okay, so it is not that the training will be only training. It will be also helping out in your HR related activities like you're creating your resumes, taking mock interviews for you, and then sending out to interviews with the consultants with whom Mark has tie-ups. Any questions up till now?
Yes, I have a question.
Please ask me.
So, like you were telling about the Selenium, the QTP, so these are the types of automatic testing?
These are types of tools used in automation testing.
Okay. So for learning like the Selenium, do we need to learn Java only or any other language will also do?
See if you can use Selenium with C#, Ruby on Rails, Python, Perl. Demand is not more. If you see the job market, demand for Selenium with Java is more. So I'm going to basically concentrate on that.
Okay,
Tomorrow,
so like the companies specify that we need person with this and with that, so like the language also is specified. So like will you feel that suppose at this level, whatever Java you teach us for the automation testing, with that thing I'll be able to survive it later words as well, because see I'm from non-IT background, so I don't know much. So just by learning this much of Java and automation, will I be able to survive in the industry for like more time? Okay.
Absolutely, because I'm going to take core Java. So for Selenium, you're not supposed to learn advanced Java, that is enterprise level Java. You need core Java for implementing your Selenium in your automation projects. So I will teach you core Java from A to Z. And then I will go towards Selenium. And I know that most of you guys are from the non-IT field. So I will teach you Java as I will teach my 8-year-old kid. Again, I'm reiterating that particular fact. Because there will be a lot of questions and counter questions of each stage of your Java. And I need to give you answers for that. Why it is like that, why it is like that, why it is happening like that. So I will teach you Java, and my automation testing training is not based on slides. Okay. I will never use slides like I would definitely use for manual testing. Okay, but I will not use any slides or PPTs for my automation testing. It will be on the fly. I will give you training on the fly. That means I will show you how to make codes. I will write codes in front of you.
Okay.
So
and do you feel like that you know?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Do you feel that just on the basis of manual testing also we can survive in the industry? Or you need to know the automated testing also?
I will give you a simple case study.
Forget the salary part.
I forgot the salary part. So I forgot the salary part. Let me give you a simple case study. People who are from India, I don't know how many people are from India. We used to have a car called Ambassador, 1980. Do we still use that?
Right. No.
So we upgrade ourselves, right? We upgrade to Honda Cities, we upgrade to Land Cruisers, we upgrade to Pajeros and all. Everything nowadays we find in India. Why do we upgrade? Because better market demands, supply is like that. Same thing.
But you know, like with automation testing also, if right now if we are studying that Selenium, it might happen that after some time QTP has more market or some other technique has more market.
I will tell you the difference between QTP and Selenium. First of all, QTP is a commercial tool. Each license of QTP costs around, in dollars, if I say $4,000 to $5,000. Selenium, $0.
Okay.
First. Second of all, look at the market trends for the last 5 years. Do you see a lot of desktop applications or a lot of client-server applications? When I say desktop application or client-server application, I mean applications which do not use internet.
All right.
95, I will say 98% of the applications that are developed nowadays are web-based. And you use internet for your web-based applications, correct?
Right.
So Selenium is a tool which supports web-based application. I'm not saying QTP does not support web-based, but why would a company spend $4,000 on one license of QTP where you're getting the same thing with $0? Second reason. Third reason is that lot of licensing policies which make the companies paid a lot of money on maintenance of QTP. Do you need any maintenance money for Selenium? No, zero maintenance. It's all open source. You keep on upgrading your Selenium also without spending a single pie of money. So if you be in, let's say, company shoes, you be a CEO of the company, what would you decide? Definitely you will decide to go for maximum output with minimum inputs. So minimum input is minimum amount of investment with maximum output. Q2P, maximum input, you get maximum output also. In Selenium, minimum input, no investment, maximum output. Investment only in what? Investment only in infrastructure and human resource. While in Q2P, tool investment, infrastructure investment, and your human resource investment. At least with Selenium, I'm gonna save the cost. Let's say around about 40% cost, and that's a huge saving for the company.
Okay.
That is why you should learn Selenium. Why you should not learn QTP? Companies have stopped learning, have stopped using it. Yeah, companies who have licenses and are using it for projects for a long time, they do not have any means, because if they want to move towards your Selenium, the whole process will change. And people are scared of changing processes. Simple human psychology, people are very scared to basically change. For example, I tell you, instead of waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, suddenly I say every day you have to wake up 4 o'clock. Go for a jog. You will feel scared. You will get hell out of your, you will get mad actually. Why this person is saying that? And it's a rule that you have to get up at 4 o'clock and go for jogging. And suddenly I am a guy who is very much kind of relaxed. I wake up at 8 o'clock and then I go for your office. It's a huge problem. So people are scared to change ways. And if you want to go towards Selenium, you have to change your process completely. So if you want to go towards Selenium, you have to change your process according to it. So clients or in companies who are still using QTP are using it because they have bought licenses for that, and they have fixed processes which are giving them fixed outputs. That is why they are not going towards Selenium. But yes, in due course of time, they will also phase out. QTP is going to phase out also. If you see the market demand right now in US, or let's say anywhere in the world, I would say, QTP required with 6 years and above experience. That means you should have experience with QTP with 6 years and above. Where will you get that kind of people? People who have got experience of 8 and 9 years have become managers. So they will stop using QTP. So where will you get that kind of experience? And next question arises is, why Selenium? Now Selenium, you would say that Selenium will also phase out in 9-10 years. I am not going to see it phasing out in the next 15 years at least. Why? Because it supports your web applications, it's a freeware, and it gives maximum output with minimum inputs. That is why it is good to learn Selenium and increase the gravity of your resume. Does that answer your question? Okay, so we'll go to the next slide, and that next slide is what are the current market needs. So first of all, you should have the foundation level, as I told you, that you should know manual testing. Okay, you should know, even if you're doing training here or not, please ensure that wherever you're doing training, first do manual testing. For non-IT guys, or for guys who are from the IT field and you want to join the industry for the first time. Okay, so manual testing should be known to you. That is the foundation level. And second thing, then automation. And automation with Selenium, check out your job portals. 90% of the jobs are with Selenium, and that is also with Java. So you're going to get your boost. Definitely, as I told you, you get 3 times the paychecks, and obviously your career growth will be also good, because every company nowadays is using Selenium. The simple reason is there's no investment required. Okay, and growth will be good because the Selenium demand is more. If the demand is more and you show your capabilities in Selenium, obviously your growth and career growth will be good. So today you are basically joining as a fresher or joining with some kind of experience. Tomorrow, in a due course of time, you can become a tech architect or a test architect for Selenium with that kind of experience level. The growth is huge for your right now if you run Selenium. Okay, that's precisely this particular slide tells you about. And then I'll take the next slide. I'm not going to take much time of yours. I've spoken a lot. I have bored you a lot. So what is testing all about? I did tell you about this particular thing. Done to check that the end product, that is the end product means the application, adheres to the requirement. That is, adheres to the requirement means to the rule book specified by the client or powered by the customer. Now, who makes this rule book for the application? Either the client will give you the rule book for making the application, or you have to make it yourself. So the requirement documents or the requirement specifications from which you make the application, okay, is called the rule book. This rule book can be either supplied by the client from which you have got the outsourced project, or it can be made by you in-house. Okay, so what is testing? It is done to check that the end product or rather the application adheres to the rule book or not. Simple. If it is not adhering to the rule book, we say there's a bug in the application. And what is the definition of a bug? Discrepancies in the application which arises because of non-compliance. Of what? Of the application with the requirement specified. So bug is nothing but a discrepancy between the application that you are testing and the rule book. That is your requirement. That is what a bug is. So simple thing. As a tester, we are going to test the application. How we are going to test the application? Looking at the rule book. If we find out that the application has some problems and is not following the rule book, we say that the application has bugs. So bug is a discrepancy between the application under test with your rule book. Simple understanding. Now, how can testing happens at the dev? So there are two kinds of testing, I would say. One testing happens at the developer side, another testing happens at the tester side. When a developer does testing, the developer will do testing of the codes. Okay, and that testing is known as white box testing or WBT. So developers also do testing. Developers also are involved in testing, but their testing will be testing the codes which they have written, and they can only test their codes because they have written it. They understand the logics of the code, they understand the syntax of the code, so they are the best persons to test the codes. So when developer tests the codes, it is called as white box testing, or in short form WBT. When we as a tester test the application, we will not test the codes. We will test the application as though our end customer uses it. End customer does not get the codes. End customer gets the application. For example, Facebook. When you use Facebook, do you actually use the codes to use it? No. You use the application. That is the front end for you. Okay. Similarly, for a tester like me, or tomorrow you become a tester, you will not be given codes to test. You will be given the application to test. So there's a difference of testing the codes and testing the application. Testing the codes will be done by the development side, and that's called white box testing. Testing the application by you and me as a tester is known as black box testing or BBT. So whenever you test an application with the end user perspective, it is called as black box testing. Now out here, I'm not going to test the codes. I'm going to test the application. And that is what I have also done for the last 17 years. If you are joining the IT industry tomorrow, that is what you are going to do. If you want to do white box testing, better to do your training in development. Then only you can become a white box tester. Okay, that's what is your simple understanding of what is software testing. Next is teams involved. These are the teams involved. A QA team or a testing team gets involved to conduct testing. A QA team or the testing team gets involved to test the application from end user perspective. That's a black box tester. Nevertheless, there's a team which does testing of the codes, and that is white box testers or your developers. So they are, I would say, if I say this particular slide, I will just indent it. Okay, this is better. So the QA team comprises of two parts. One is a white box tester, and the other is your black box tester. So these white box testers are nothing but developers who will actually test the codes. The other part is your black box tester. They will test the application as though they are using it from a end user perspective. So you and me are black box testers. Our training will be also in black box testing. Now, if I would have trained in white box testing, then you should first know development. You should first get trained in development. Then you can become a white box tester. A black box tester cannot become a white box tester. Okay? Because black box tester will not know to test the codes. Black box testers are only involved in testing the application as an end user would use it. So if I tell you, please test Facebook, you will open a Facebook application and start testing it. That is what a black box tester will do. Okay. So there's a simple difference between black box and white box tester, and these are the teams involved rather. Sub-teams involved. Next slide, why testing. Let me tell you the history of testing first, short synopsis. Testing originated in US. That is for sure. Okay. Why would I say that? History is something like that. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of the Star Wars program. The Star Wars programs was actually a program conducted by the Department of Defense US in late 70s, which was a Cold War era time. It was the era of Cold War, and the Cold War was happening in Russia, in USSR and USA at that point of time. So USA wanted to counteract USSR by creating advanced weaponry, laser-based weapons and or advanced missiles, ICBM missiles, all those things. The Department of Defense spent a lot of money to make softwares required for these weaponries. Okay, when these softwares were made and they were tested, that means they were actually tested by the military or by the Air Force, it backfired. They did not work as they were intended to do. So what happened is, lot of tax money paid by people was used by the government of US to invest on those Star Wars program. And people started questioning why they have used the tax money. So because of these reasons, the Department of Defense set up an inquiry. Inquiry, why did the softwares failed? And they set up an inquiry by creating a board with Carnegie Mellon University. This board consists of scientists from the Department of Defense plus professors and scientists for the Carnegie Mellon University. They formulated a strategy that you need to test the application or the software or the hardware before actually it is used in real-time scenario. And this testing should be done in a simulated environment, that is a scaled down environment of the real-time scenario before you release it to be used in real time. And that's how testing originated from this particular board comprising of scientists from the Department of Defense and professors and scientists from the Carnegie Mellon. And that's how testing came to the world. Okay, now why testing? If you do not do testing and you give the application to the client finds bugs. That's not a good procedure, that's not a good sign. You will supply application without testing it to the client side, client gets a bug, that's not a good sign. Client will not give you good recommendations, will not recommend you to other clients, will not give you good feedback. So you should not supply an application which already has bugs to the client. So before you deliver an application to the client, ensure that testing is conducted so that most of the bugs, or rather most of the 90% or 95% of the bugs gets rectified before you deliver the application to the client. Okay. Second thing is, if you do not do testing, the client might not accept the application, and in the turn will not give you money for the work that you have done. Simple, very raw fact. Third thing is that to make the application as defined in the requirement and then cross-checking the same through the process of testing the application. Third thing, obviously, you need to do testing because you need to check that the application is adhering to the rule book or not. So one is that if you do not do testing, it will be rejected by the client. If you are delivering a bug application, that means you have not tested it and you have delivered the application to the client, you will lose your customer base. Because the client will not give you good recommendations, will not recommend you to other customers, thus making the investment go down the drains. You will lose clients, and ultimately if you start to lose client, you will not get projects. What will happen? The company has to close. So definitely it is good to do testing before you deliver the application to the client. Third thing, obviously the purpose of testing is to find out that the application developed is adhering to the rule book or not. That is what is defined for you, why testing is required. And every company nowadays have this testing field or testing domain or the testing department. If they do not have it, they have making themselves ready to close their company. Simple thing. Next is features of a quality software. These are the features. I'm going to take much time of yours. Capability. The quality software or the software that has been made and tested should have capability. What does capability means? Can the product perform valuable functions? All the features are working fine or not. That is the capability of the application. Reliability. Can you trust the product in difficult situations? Is an application able to work in difficult situations, in different kind of environments, in difficult kind of hardware configuration or software configuration? Usability. Is the application easy to use? These are features of a quality software. Charisma. How attractive is your application? Attractiveness comes with your design of the application. How attractive it is. More attractive, more users you will get for using the application. Security. If let's say your Gmail account gets hacked tomorrow, would you use the Gmail application? You will not use it. You will go to some other application. So security of the application is an important feature of a quality software. Performance. How fast is your application? For example, you have to wait for 10 minutes to get your inbox page after logging in. You will get irritated. You will not have patience and you will close the application. So your application should be fast, and that is part of your performance. That is one of the good features of a quality software. IT-ability. Is the product easy to install, maintain, and support? Compatibility. How well does the product interact with your software and hardware environments? So these are the features of a quality software. And then there are types of testing out here. We already know it. I told you about white box testing. These are the ways you can do white box testing. I'm not going to bore you much. I'm going to just tell you these are types of testing that are available in the market. If you want to be a white box tester, you have to be a developer. Black box testing can be run by any graduates. Okay. In black box testing, we are going to learn all these types of testing like integration testing, incremental, non-incremental, system testing, user acceptance testing. When we go inside the training, we'll learn all these things. And what is the gray box testing? A person who can do white box and black box can become a gray box tester. So gray box testing is a combination of white box and black box. Okay. Our focus will be on black box testing for the training purpose, as white box testing involves testing the codes. And The first thing that I'm going to take when you start up your phase 1, that's your manual testing, is your SDLC. And these are the sub phases of your SDLC. SDLC has to be known by a person in the industry. Even the person is a finance guy of the IT industry, or is an administrator, or is a human resource guy, let's say belongs to a human resource team, or a developer, or a tester, or even the CEO of the company has to know this particular thing. This is the heart of IT industry. If you do not know this, you cannot enter the industry. So this will be the first topic called software development lifecycle that will be taken by me when I start your manual testing training as part of your first phase. So that's the boring part. You have any questions to be asked right now? Anybody has any questions? Okay, let me give you a quick approach. When you join training, you'll be getting this kind of blog. Every team member will get this kind of blog. Okay, these are the what do you call, different sessions that are running. So you'll get this kind of blog rather. I'll show you, and everybody will get access to this. The home section is the section in which you can raise any kind of questions regarding any kind of issues that you have, or any kind of question regarding any kind of topics of your manual testing and automation. Then there's a section called assignments. I'll upload the assignments out here on your manual testing or your automation, and you have to download it and upload your homework on this particular section called assignments. And then there's a course material. So I will upload a lot of course materials for you regarding manual testing and automation. You can see that I uploaded for a particular batch. So you will get all these uploaded materials for your manual testing as well as automation testing in this particular section called course material. You can download the materials from your end. Okay, and then you can ask me any questions. There's a section called questions to trainer. A lot of people have asked me a lot of questions out here. I will reply back to it. It's like a blog out here. Okay, and then you have a session links. Here you will get the links for joining the sessions. Okay, you can click out here and join the sessions, each session on an everyday basis. The links will get uploaded in this particular section called session links. And then the videos. Whatever sessions that I take, the videos of this session will be uploaded out here. Okay, all those videos are uploaded. The videos are important for you. Let's say you want to revise something for your sessions. You want to relearn again some certain topics. You can go to each and every session. The topics are also defined, what topics have been taken, and you can look at the videos. The videos will be available to you for a particular period of time. I think it is 6 months and all. So that you can do your revisions and relearn and look at the videos. Looking at the videos, you can also ask me questions in the blog. So this access to the blog will be given once you join this particular course. So anything else that you want to ask me?
Yeah, I have a question. I have told about ALM tools. Could you please tell us something or a little bit about ALM tools?
ALM tools is part of your ALM tool is part of your manual testing, that is phase 1 training. It's basically a test management tool rather. So we will go through a tool called QC, Quality Center.
So you will use QC instead of
yes.
ALM.
ALM is a domain by itself. Like your travel domain. No, it's not a tool. So understand one thing, you have a travel domain, you have a banking domain, you have an insurance domain, ALM is also a domain.
Okay.
So we use a tool for a ALM domain, and that tool that we will be using is a QC tool, Quality Center tool. So we'll understand and learn the Quality Center tool as part of your phase 1, that is your manual testing.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, not from me.
The training will run for how long? I mean, like, when will it be completed?
Okay, I'll tell you. The phase 1 will take around about 30 to 35 sessions. Okay, because it will be a lot of processes. It's a foundation level, a lot of processes, tools understanding, tools usage, understanding the testing types, all these things out there. So it will be around about 30 to 35 sessions of your phase 1. Phase 2 includes your Java learning. Java will take round about 10 to 12 sessions. Then learning Selenium WebDriver will take 10 sessions. So totally, if you say the whole phase 1 and phase 2, 35, if I take maximum level, 35 plus 12, 47, plus 10, 57 sessions. Each session is of 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours. Sessions will be on an everyday basis, Monday to Friday, 5 days a week. Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions?
Hey, hi Kaushik, this is Preeti again.
Yeah, Preeti.
Yeah, one quick question, like we can start from phase 2 also, right? For your
If you know phase 1,
training.
if you know phase 1, that means if you know manual testing, you can directly start phase 2.
Okay, so phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4 we have to continue if you know the manual testing, right? That option you have with your training program, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, got it. That's it. Thank you, Kaushik.
Thanks, Preeti. Any other questions? Nidhi, Mohammed Abedin. Abedin, I have, hi, this is Kaushik out here. I didn't speak to you. Can I get your background, please? Synopsis of your background. I don't know if he's able to hear me. Anup, you have any questions? Anup, Ankita, Nidhi, Subhalakshmi or Karim, you have any questions? Please ask me.
Right now I have no question. Yeah, but one minor question, like how many tools you will teach us through this training?
I will tell you. I will teach you Tortoise SVN. Okay. I will that's a SCM tool. I will teach you Bugzilla, that's a bug tracking tool. Okay. I will teach you QC, that's an ALM tool. Okay. These are the 3 tools which you require for your manual testing. Okay. Plus, I will teach you in terms of Selenium. If I tell you, I will teach you Git. Git is a tool. It's also an SCM tool. Okay. I will teach you GitHub. I will teach you that's also a repository, central repository tool. I will teach you Maven. That's a tool. I will teach you Ant. It's a tool of your Selenium, using Selenium rather. I will teach you the TestNG framework. I will also teach you a tool which is known as your report engine for reporting. So roundabout, if you say phase 1 and phase 2, if you do it, there will be 8 to 9 tools taught to you.
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions anybody else has? So should I end the session, please?
Okay, Ken. Thank you, Kaushik. Thank you so much.
Thanks everybody for giving your precious time. I bored you a lot, but I wanted to tell you what is required. Thanks.
No, you encouraged now non-IT people. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thanks to hear that.